Welcome to another episode of Learning English with Spelling Bee Ninja. Today, we're diving deep into a fascinating aspect of English grammar, direct and indirect speech. Understanding these concepts is crucial, not just for acing tests but also for effective communication. Whether you're narrating a story or sharing someone else's thoughts, knowing how to correctly report speech will enhance your language skills. Let's get started on this exciting journey to mastering this essential part of the English language. To begin, let's clarify what direct speech is. It's when you quote someone's exact words. For instance, if Maria says, "I love English," that's direct speech. Notice the quotation marks that indicate these are her actual words. This form adds authenticity and emotion to the spoken word. On the other hand, we have indirect speech, also known as reported speech. This form summarizes what someone said without using quotation marks. For example, if we take Maria's words again, in indirect speech, we would say, "Maria said that she loved English." Here, we alter the tense, pronouns, and often the time expression. This shift is essential in conveying the message correctly and smoothly. Now, let's explore the changes we need to make when transforming direct speech into indirect speech. First, we typically shift the tense back one step. So, if the sentence is in the present tense, like she says, it changes to past tense, she said. This is a general rule that applies to statements. However, context is key. For example, "I will call you tomorrow" becomes "he said he would call me the next day." Notice how we also adjusted the time expression tomorrow to the next day. Next, let's focus on how to handle questions in indirect speech. When reporting questions, we need a slightly different approach. Instead of using a question form, we convert it into a statement. For instance, if someone asks, "Are you coming to the party?" in indirect speech, you would report, "She asked if I was coming to the party." This involves changing the structure of the sentence entirely. It's important to use the appropriate reporting verbs like ask when posing a question in indirect speech. Additionally, yes or no questions require the use of phrases like if or whether to connect the reported question to the rest of the sentence. In this way, there's clarity for the listener or reader. Now let's shift our focus to how we handle commands and requests. When someone gives a command in direct speech, it typically starts with an imperative verb, like close the window. When we convert this to indirect speech, we use a structure that reflects the command. So, we might say, "She told me to close the window." Here, told is our reporting verb, and the command stays clear. This transformation highlights the action requested rather than the exact words spoken. Ensuring we accurately convey commands is vital in communication, especially in situations that require clear instructions. Let's now explore the necessary changes for pronouns. When converting from direct to indirect speech, pronouns usually need to be adjusted to fit the perspective of the reporting speaker. For instance, if Maria says, "I love English," when reporting this, the speaker might say, "She said that she loved English." This change is essential to maintain clarity. Similarly, if the speaker is recounting a conversation that includes multiple speakers, accurate pronoun usage becomes even more critical. Context and understanding the relationships between the speakers help guide how to adjust these pronouns. In addition to pronouns, we must also ensure that our time expressions are appropriately modified. Phrases like today, now or tomorrow often shift based on the context of the speech. For example, "I'll see you today" would transform to "he said he would see me that day." It's all about aligning the reported speech with the context of when it's being shared. This not only helps in maintaining the meaning but also ensures that the audience clearly understands the timing of the events being described. Throughout our learning journey, recognizing these patterns and transformations equips us with the skills to navigate conversations more effectively. Placing all of this knowledge into practice is important, which is why we encourage you to engage in exercises that allow you to apply what you've learned. Practicing these transformations will solidify your understanding, making direct and indirect speech second nature. Try writing sentences in both forms or take notes of conversations and practice reporting them correctly. This active engagement will enhance your listening skills and comprehension. Continuous practice serves not only to prepare you for tests but to improve your overall communication abilities. Remember, using dialogue correctly can transform how your stories and ideas are conveyed to others. To recap, we've covered the essentials of direct and indirect speech. Direct speech quotes exact words and uses quotation marks, while indirect speech summarizes those thoughts and often involves changes to the tense, pronouns, and time expressions. Understanding how to report commands and questions correctly is equally important. Continuous practice and engagement with these concepts will enrich your English skills and make you a more confident speaker. Direct and indirect speech are not just different styles, they are tools that enhance your communication. Thanks for joining us on this episode of Learning English with Spelling Bee Ninja. We hope you enjoyed exploring direct and indirect speech with us today. Keep practicing these concepts, and don't hesitate to weave them into your everyday conversations. The more you use them, the more natural they will become. Until next time, keep learning and stay curious.